My name is Martinus Bukkers. I'm from Leuven, Belgium. And I was interested in going to the United States because I wanted to add some experience to my university life, and more particular to research, because after finishing my PhD I was confronted with a little problem. The problem being that I had to publish things. And well, that's not an easy process when you start with it. So I decided to look for some help, and this help came in the form of a person, Professor McGill, who was at that time in Louisiana State University, and we had a small seminar at our university. And in meeting him, I got this idea of asking him to go over to the United States and what I should do for it. So from that first period, after this meeting, I looked around for some possible grants, and of course the Fulbright grant was one of the most interesting opportunities that could be offered to a PhD scholar in Belgium, I think. So I took the phone and I got some information from different sources, and I decided to go for this interview. So then I had to go to Brussels. I remember that particular day. I was a little nervous. You have to be nervous to perform well, of course. And then I came into the office. There were 3 people there, and it was like very easy. It was like very calm, I could say, and they just asked a number of questions about what my interest was, why I wanted to go to the United States, what I wanted to study, what was my particular reason for going there. So more like a talk than a harsh interview. I left the room with the impression that it was not too bad, and a week later I got the information that I was accepted for a Fulbright scholarship. So I was really happy that I got it, and then I started preparing my trip to LSU. Well, my situation was pretty easy, I could say. I didn't need to have this things like essays, writing or exams, since I had my PhD already and I was just aiming at a postdoc situation there. So it was more like just an interview. I think that what is very important, that you have an open mind and that you're ready to go to another place. For me, the United States were very important because it was like the mecca of science, and all my colleagues had been there in order to have this experience and to be a better researcher. But this open mind is really necessary, I think, because you have to go to another place, you have to go to another culture, because there is this, of course, this culture shock in the beginning. And this open mind will help you a lot. You have to be ready to talk to people, you have to be ready to, let's say, be open to experience new things. And this was one of the most important things for me in this Fulbright grant, that apart from, of course, this scientific element that you want to be better in your job, but this additional strong experience of meeting new people, of meeting new people, being in a new situation, is something that's very important. I think you have to be prepared for that as well, that you need to be ready to go to another country. So it's not just filling out forms, it's just not like preparing for an interview, it's being ready to do something special in another country. Well, the research itself was, of course, very important, and they had a very interesting lab. I did some work on anticipation skills, and since the facilities were very interesting, I had the opportunity to do this job there. But on the other hand, I also had my family came over with my wife and kids, and they had a great experience. I remember going to the baseball game, and there was this tiger, you know, the Louisiana tiger, and my kids were like, wow, what's happening here? So the mascot was there, and we took a picture of the mascot with the kids, and this was like, for them it was like a very interesting experience, so it was very special. So what I could say is, from these two very important things, like the research, that was good research, solid research, a colleague who knew about things, he taught me about how to publish, what to take into account in writing good papers. Then on the other part, this really interesting cultural meeting of my kids, my wife, myself, with these friends in the United States. That is something that was, for my life, was very important. For me, that was a basic question that I couldn't resolve, because we just built our house, so it was almost brand new house. So we got into the house like only 2 years before I went to the United States. So my wife had and has a job in high school, so she also had to continue with this job. So for us, it was not easy just to take the whole family over to the United States. So we decided that they would come over for 3 weeks during Eastern vacation. And that was a better solution for us at the time being, because that was also the reason why it only took like 6 months and not a whole year or 2 years that you would see for other Fulbright grantees. So my solution was like, I will go there, I will do my job, I will work hard, and my wife will come over for 2 or 3 weeks, and we will have a vacation with the kids so that they have an experience themselves too. So, and that worked very well. I think for me it was the solution at the time being. Yeah. Although I would have loved to stay longer, that's for sure. But well, you have to find a good compromise between family, of course, and job. Well, for my career it had a very huge impact, I guess, because actually I learned a lot about publishing peer-reviewed manuscripts, and that was my aim. I went to the United States to learn that. And I did learn it, because after these 6 months I had 2 peer-reviewed papers accepted within a year. So that was mission accomplished from the professional side. From the other side, it was for me also a very interesting experience, because I think in this world you need this cooperation between different labs all over the world, and that's from the professional side, but also between people. I'm really convinced that cooperation is necessary to have a world running in a way human beings should run a world. And without these kinds of grants, and I think Fulbright, Senator Fulbright was, well, he was a great man, since he had the ability to foresee this. He like was a special man in establishing these grants. So I'm really thankful for that, and I think he did a very important job to make people cooperate. And I think in the next decades we will need to see more of these things to make this scientific world, this knowledge world, work better together and be prosperous for as many people as possible. Wel, ik ben nogal voorstander van internationale samenwerking, en wat senator Fulbright ons heeft getoond is dat je door een goede inzet van middelen kan komen tot een heel sterke coöperatie tussen mensen. Coöperatie die professioneel zeer belangrijk is, maar die vooral ook belangrijk is om een goede situatie te creëren voor zoveel mogelijk mensen op deze wereld, en daar denk ik toch dat we finaal toe zouden moeten komen. Flamenco is the organization for the internationalization of higher education in Flanders, and I think this is an important organization, because also for Flamenco it's important that we have a high mobility of students, and making that students go back and forth to different countries to study, or to partly study there just for let's say 3 months or a whole year, gives us this same kind of quality for the students, that they do learn some things for their own professional life, but also for their personal life as a human being. And I think we want to add to this experience by organizing things for students in a good way.